Watch fans, today we're going to be looking at 3 watches that you can truly place your bets on. Stay tuned. Welcome back, watch fans. So we're going to be looking at 3 watches that you can truly place your bets on. You could even say that this is 3 of a kind, or you could say 3 out of that true royal flush when it comes to dive watches. So these two watches are actually going to be made by sister or brother brands. So we'll have a Rolex. We're actually going to have a Tudor, and then of course rounding out that we're going to have the Omega as well. With Omega, we're going to start off with the Omega 300M. This watch, released in 1993, has definitely been a piece that is a part of everyone's Fantastic Five when it comes to watches in the dive category. And it has always made true feats. It's definitely made a lot of leaps and bounds since 1957 when the Omega 300 series was actually introduced. But with the 300M, it would definitely take a place and make a statement that was going to be completely different than everything else. In fact, when Omega actually ran into a little bit of trouble, this was the watch that would actually take off for them. Yes, we all remember that famous scene in Casino Royale where Omega made its stance and it popped right back off, and everyone felt like they had to have that piece because we all had that little piece of bond inside of us. So that piece is one that we definitely know has to be in there. And with the upgrades, as far as this being a coaxial escapement now, so that full master coaxial movement being there, the ceramic bezel, so it's more anti-corrosive, the dial choice that is made actually with that Z102. I mean, there's so many features that it gives. But what Omega gives that no one else does, Omega believes that it is not a professional dive watch unless it has a helium release valve. That's going to be one of the things that they give that's going to be a little bit different. Also, Omega introduced using Metis. Now, every country has Metis. However, they said, let's actually go a little bit further. We're not just going to give a COSC certification, the COSC, which we're all used to, but we're going to move into a new system for ourselves, and we're going to actually use COSC. Now, when they did that, they also regulated the timing of their watch so that it can be a lot more accurate. So now we don't even look at the watch and say, oh, it can vary here or vary there. It became a lot more dialed in to say, hey, this watch is going to give you 55 hours of power reserve, and it is going to tell more accurate time. And when it was released, it was actually the most accurate time. But of course, we know the Rolex family is never going to be far away when it comes to those things because technology meets money, and when they meet together, they always find a way to improve. So before we'll even go to that number 1 of that group, let's take a look at its brother company. This is going to be the Tudor Black Bay 41. Now, when I'm speaking to this one, I am going to speak to the most modern model that they actually have released because that one actually has the same exact certifications. So yeah, they've actually stepped up now when we're looking at this year, and they have Metis certifications for the newest portion of their line. So with the Black Bays now, I not only get the COSC, but I also get the Metis. I have the Metis for my actual Tudor watch. With a Black Bay, and I just happen to be a person who loves them, I wear one of the smiley faces, which is going to be a different movement, but I always love pieces that are going to be genuine in product. And it was the 2013 release when they came back to America. Gladly enough, I had a chance to be an authorized dealer for a few of the brands, and Tudor included, when they actually returned to America. And I feel like since then, they have done the things that they have promised us that they were going to do. So now it not only has the Metis certification, it is also a 70-hour in-house movement as well. Yes, Tudor has done it. We all fell in love with that original Prince model. We know that the Submariner for Rolex came out of Tudor in the same exact year. They moved it over into that Submariner line and created that for Rolex. But it is, again, standing on its own and giving you something totally different, unique in its price point, but also full of strength and power. And it's going to lead us directly into its brother, like we said earlier, which is going to be the Rolex Submariner. The Rolex Submariner has always been that gold go-to watch. That's the American dream watch. And they were smart in how they did it. So what really set them apart or made them to where everyone wanted to keep up with the Joneses, quote unquote. They actually gave this to our military, to the officers, and said, you can use this, and gave a leg up on the competition. That's one of those things that I felt was fantastic. It was actually brilliant to do, especially being that Hans was actually born German and then raised in Great Britain. But that also, that's where he did most of his work and actually created a lot of his ideas. But for him to do that, and their company to do that for an American soldier, I want you to think about that. As an American officer, you now have that piece that is above everything else. And Rolex has continued to strive and make great feats since 1953 on just the Submariner itself. So now we have a Submariner that's a 41 millimeter. So yes, it's giving us a little bit more size, and we're talking about the most recent releases. So we have that size, we have the 70-hour power reserve, we have the ceramic bezel, we have the movement that is +2, -2. Rolex has fixed and done everything that could have been a complaint, and they have found it and put it into the perfect watch. But we want to know what you think and how you feel here at Swiss Watch Expo. So tell us in the comments below.